Hey, everybody. Bill Degnan here, hosting another episode of StrokeHacker Live. Welcome to all of you in the StrokeHacker community. We're happy to have you, and we're looking to grow this thing as quickly as we can and reach out to as many people affected by stroke as we can. So I'd love it if you're watching, please take a minute to share. In fact, I'm going to pause for 3 seconds and let you do it right now. Share, please. This is what we call awkward silence. We have Tina Hollands today. We're really excited to have her on here. Tina, you've been on the show before, right?
Yes.
I think back in the summer on what we used to call the 5 Minutes with Shawnee show. And I would really, really love it if Shawnee could have taken the role of host on today. But sadly, he's actually out trying to hack his stroke some more. I think doing some bulletproof lab stuff that you probably have seen him doing a lot of. So couldn't do that this afternoon. So I was excited to be able to jump in and talk to Tina. So let's talk to Tina. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey with stroke?
I had a stroke during a craniotomy to remove my baseball-sized brain tumor. About 2 weeks after the birth of my second daughter. So I was in the hospital when I had my stroke, and I work in physical therapy prior to my stroke as a PT assistant. So being around patients that are recovering from a stroke is something like it's been part of my journey prior to my stroke. So now I'm just out here. I'm slowly going back into work in physical therapy. I helped start a support group along with the collaboration of some rehab therapists that I met when I was doing my own therapy. And I volunteer at the rehab facility that I was a patient at. And it's called AMP, the Stroke Survivor Group. It's always making progress. I'm almost 4 years post-stroke, and I keep making more improvements. I'm completely independent in all my ADLs. I drive. I have 2 little girls that I'm able to help take care of. I give them baths. I feed them. I do all the things that I should do as a mom. I guess the biggest thing is my life journey didn't go as I thought it was going to go, but I still am making the best of the life that I have. Like, I still get to make memories with my children and my family. I still get to do all the things I need to do, maybe a little differently, but I'm still doing everything that I needed to do in life that I need to do. I've met some of the most amazing people I may not have met had I not had my stroke. I get to volunteer with PT students. I've talked with OT students. That's kind of been my new passion, is let them feel and experience firsthand what I felt being on the other side. I say the other side of the gown. So I just keep moving forward. You know, the doctors told my family I may never walk again. And if I did, I may have to use a walker. And I don't use any of those things. I still have a brace on my ankle, but I'm slowly working on getting out of that. So I think as a person recovering from a stroke, you keep moving forward. Things keep progressing. Like, I trust the process of therapy. And I just keep getting better and better. So even 4 years into this journey, I've continued to make progress. And
That's amazing. And, you know, it's certainly an amazing story of recovery. And like you said, you're continually you're probably always going to be dealing with something and trying to overcome something with it. Have you ever felt like you reach what they call a plateau, where you feel like I'm not making any progress? And if so, how have you worked to just kind of get over the hump?
I think I have felt like, oh goodness, I'm not making progress. I actually started a calendar and I jot things down, like the first time I could eat food, like by myself without making a mess on my clothes. And so I'll look through that and go, look, you have made progress. There was a time when you couldn't eat food without making a mess, or there was a time when you had to have help getting in the car, and there was a time when you didn't get to drive. So I look at those things and I'm like, just keep pushing forward, because it was a struggle one day doesn't mean it'll always be a struggle. I guess I feel like my struggles, the biggest struggles I have, when I found the accomplishment, like tying my shoe with my left hand, using my left and right hand to tie my shoe, I'm like, all those times I struggled, like I finally accomplished it and it feels good. You know what I mean? Like, those are the most rewarding accomplishments, the goals that I've I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just have a little technical issue I want to fix real quick. We just had a message from Dave Cherwoniak saying inspiration, thanks. So, I mean, you're making an impact here. So that's awesome. I feel like what you just described is something that whether you've been affected by stroke or not, all of us go through that in life where we forget our successes sometimes. So, but I can certainly imagine going through what you've been going through. That's been a big turning point when you finally can sit back and really take stock of your progress.
And I really think like prior to the stroke, like we always want to be better. I ran marathons, like I always wanted a better time or to not feel as fatigued after, everything in life. Like we want to keep improving, and that's how I look at having a stroke. Like it's no different than before my life. Like I still want to get better times when I finish a 5K or do better at like getting in and out of the car. We all have goals that we wanted, whether we had a stroke or not. So I guess I feel like those things don't change. You keep trying, you keep moving forward regardless of what obstacles have been thrown at you. And I feel like I'm blessed. I've been blessed by people that have come into my life. I feel like those people have loved me at my worst, and they've helped me and guided me and supported me and done all the things that they could do to help me succeed. So I want to show them, like, because of your love and help, like, I'm in a better place. And I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying that there weren't times where I was like, why did this happen to me? But it's easy to get into why me. It doesn't fix anything. It happened. I have to move forward,
Right on. Hey, what inspired you to actually become a marathoner?
It was like one of those like life goals, like, oh, the challenge, running 26.2 miles, like, and then I did it 15 times. My goal was to stop at 20, so we'll see where it leads. But
So what's your times?
my fastest time was 4:34. My
Wow.
slowest time was my last pregnancy, and it was like 6 hours. Like I wasn't a fast runner, but I always got up and I did it. I put in the time that needed to be done, and I enjoyed it. We take pictures and do those kinds of things too. It's not always about finishing. Sometimes it's about the journey that it takes you on.
So I want to make sure I'm clear. Are you've been running these marathons post-stroke?
Oh, no, before my stroke. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, still, I mean, it's a remarkable accomplishment. Nevertheless, are you able to try and walk fast, stay up on your cardio now?
I've tried to do a little bit of running, but my ankle doesn't cooperate yet with me. But I don't find that it will never happen. Maybe in 10 years I'll be able to run. Like I walk fast. I've done 5K. I've done 4 5Ks since my stroke. So I still get out there. I have a bike, a trike that I can ride. I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy running, but I can go out and do 4 to 5 miles on a trike. And so I try to stay active with things. And I have 2 little girls, so I'm active all the time with their adventures in daily living. So
that's awesome. So tell me first of all, I just got to say, it's remarkable to me that someone who's worked with stroke patients before you had a stroke, then had a stroke. What goes through a person's mind right after you've had a stroke? Is it some gigantic sense of irony, or what possibly could have been going through your mind at that point?
I think I was in denial for a bit, and then I was angry. I was angry that I had some of the deficits. Like there was a time when I couldn't look to the left and hold that for 5 seconds, and people were like, look at me, Tina, look what side I'm on. And I was angry. I was angry that happened to me, but I've accepted it now. Like it's part of who I am. It's part of what I've done. So you just move forward. I guess the biggest thing I could do is move forward. Like I can pity myself for a short time, like, oh, I feel bad, like I'm having a bad day, but I can't stay there. It doesn't do me any good to stay there. So
yeah, that's true for all of us. What would you say to someone who's maybe just recently had a stroke and is dealing with deficits, or their caregivers? I mean, what's the, one or two most important things you wished that you or your family would have known when you had yours?
I think that have someone believe in you, believe that you're going to get better, believe that when you do accomplish something that it's a big accomplishment. Small steps lead to big steps, and I think be patient. It's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do is work through your deficits, but be patient with yourself and take pride in what you have accomplished, and look back only to see how far you've come. It's hard. It can be hard. Like, oh, I used to be able to run marathons, and now a 5K like wears me out. It's hard, but it's not the end of the world. And today's accomplishments today's struggles may be tomorrow's accomplishments. I guess that would be my biggest thing is if you keep working at something, eventually you can get it. And there was a time when I couldn't walk, 20 feet. And now I can walk 3.2 miles, 3.1 miles. So today's struggles may be tomorrow's accomplishments. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on therapy, and know that years later you can still make progress.
That's incredible. Wise words to live by. So, and to that point about people believing in you, my understanding is your husband was there to believe in you. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
So we've been married since 2009. We were together since 2003, but he was by my side. My mom and dad have helped out in my journey. They help with our girls. My mom still is kind of like she's got my back with my kids. Like if I'm running late or I just can't make it to my daughter's school to bring her, she will take my 6-year-old to school for me. And right now she has my 3-year-old who was sick last night. So my mom, I've had amazing family. My in-laws have been great, like supportive and loving and kind. And like, Tina, you're moving better. You look good. You know what I mean? Like those encouragements like help, because it's easy to get into, I don't feel any better. It's easy to get stuck. So when you have people believing in you, and sometimes my husband's like, remember when I had to be in the bathroom with you when you had to shower because we were afraid you might fall, and now I don't have, he doesn't have to be in the bathroom with me. Or when he'd have to take me to the store because I needed to pick something up, I can take myself to the store and pick it up. I can take my girls to and from places. So I think having him believe in me and support me and just be there for me, when I feel overwhelmed or scared, like, oh, I feel a little anxiety about going to this place, he's like, I'll make sure you're okay. He always makes sure we park in a spot where I can get in and out easily. Like, I feel like he's always got my back. Like, he's always like, okay, we're going to go here. If we need to leave because you don't feel well, just let me know and we'll get up and go. So I think those things like help, like knowing that he can kind of navigate for me, but knows that like my limitations with anxiety and loud noises can be harder. So he's accepting like, okay, we need to go now. Like it's just time to go. So I think those things help in my recovery. And
right. So he and you both are stroke heroes then.
No, thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I want to thank you for getting involved with the StrokeHacker community. And I'm a firm believer that it doesn't work unless it's community. So I'm hopeful that, you do an excellent job of speaking out. Even we've had some comments here saying that. I would love to offer the opportunity for you to host your own show. I mean, we've just had a nice little conversation, and it's as simple as that. So if it's something you want to do, or any other people that are part of this community, if you're part of our StrokeHacker community and you want, and you know other people that you'd like that are inspiring, and then you want to share their story, reach out to us, at StrokeHacker.com, or hit us up. I think info@StrokeHacker.com is our email that you can get a hold of us. And anyone, we'd love to welcome people to host a StrokeHacker live show. So it doesn't have to be you unless you want to, but I want to put that out there. So I want to thank you for that. I want to show you real quick. We've got the new StrokeHacker StrokeHacker shop in place now, and our first product is a shirt you've probably seen our friend Sean wearing. I'm going to pull that up on the screen here. If you just click that one right there, and I want to show you real quick. This is something that I just added to the design that I think is pretty cool. and that is we've got something on the back of the design. I'm struggling to figure out how to actually use this software, but I'm going to show you. We've got I can, I shall, I will on the back of the t-shirt.
Nice.
That's a motto or a mantra that Sean has preached many, many times, so I wanted to put that on there. So that's now available on the StrokeHacker.com shop. We're going to add all kinds of stuff to this, but we're just getting started, and I hope people will feel free to want to join the cause. Proceeds from everything we sell on that store will, a portion of those will go to the Brain Network organization, which is a 501c3 that's been developed to help other stroke survivors, and maybe I think really with a passion for what's the word I'm looking for? Scholarshiping, helping people get further treatments. So we're just really on the starting line of this thing, but we need help in the community, and people like yourselves are a big part of that.
That's awesome. Like,
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just glad to hear that. Like, I think that it takes a community to help. Like, I definitely haven't done this on my own. Like, I've had a community, a network of people. I have friends that I can reach out to that work with stroke patients that, like, when I say, oh, my fingers did this, they get excited for me, or like go to, you know what I mean? Like, I have those connections to always help me feel better about the little improvements that I have had. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a community. It takes a tribe too. And by all means, I've had a tribe behind me. I haven't done any of this by myself. So
I think that's probably very common, a very common sentiment in this community. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much, Tina. I've loved getting a chance to get to know you and share a little time with you, and you're a true inspiration. So I hope you guys have a great day out there in California, and to all you guys in the Stroke Hacker community, thanks for joining in. And please share. That's how we get the word out and grow the community. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye. It was nice meeting you.
You too.
Thank you.